Content warning: this video contains graphic descriptions of a medical procedure involving self-surgery. Viewer discretion is advised, as some content may be distressing to sensitive audiences.
For those who live in big cities, it may be difficult to imagine the struggles faced by those in remote areas where infrastructure is severely lacking. Roads are poorly maintained, communication networks are almost non-existent, and access to emergency services is a distant luxury. While many rural residents have adapted to these hardships, emergencies can turn their daily struggles into life-and-death situations. This is the story of a mother who had to do the unimaginable, something no one else would dare attempt, to save her unborn child. Rio Talia, Mexico, is a small village with a population of about 500 people. This remote settlement has only one public telephone, the only means of communication for its residents. Access to medical services is nearly impossible, as the nearest clinic is about 80 kilometers away, reachable only by treacherous, damaged roads. On the night of March 5, 2000, Ines Ramirez, heavily pregnant, found herself alone in her home, struck by intense labor pains. Her husband was away, and there was no way to call for help. At first, she remained hopeful, believing he would return soon. She endured the unbearable pain, waiting, praying. But after 12 agonizing hours, her hope faded. She was alone, in excruciating pain, and she knew something was wrong. With no other choice, she made a desperate, terrifying decision. Ramirez staggered to the kitchen and grabbed a 15-centimeter knife. She then sat on a wooden bench and drank 3 small glasses of alcohol, her only available anesthetic. Her hands trembled as she placed the blade against her abdomen. There was no time to hesitate, she made the first incision. A sharp, searing pain shot through her body, but she pressed on. Inch by inch, she sliced through her own flesh, cutting vertically down the right side of her navel. Blood pooled around her as she continued, her vision blurring from the pain and exhaustion. After nearly an hour of cutting through skin, fat, and muscle, she reached her uterus. Her hands were slick with blood, her breathing ragged, but she did not stop. Summoning every last ounce of strength, she made a precise incision into her womb, mirroring the way she would cut a tortilla. Blood gushed out, but she kept going. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she reached inside herself and pulled out her baby boy. A single, desperate cry filled the air, tears mixed with sweat as Ramirez hurriedly cut the umbilical cord with a pair of scissors. She cradled her newborn son, Orlando, against her chest, feeling his tiny heart beating. He was alive. But she was fading fast. Knowing she couldn't afford to lose consciousness, Ramirez did the unthinkable. She pushed her exposed organs back inside her abdomen, wrapping her open wound with a piece of cloth. Her vision swam, darkness threatened to consume her, but she knew she had one last thing to do. With the last of her strength, she called her 8-year-old son and instructed him to run for help. Hours later, a village health worker arrived and was met with a horrifying sight. Ramirez lay on the floor, covered in blood, barely conscious, with her newborn baby beside her, alive. The worker performed emergency stitches on the spot before rushing her on a grueling 2.5-hour van ride to the nearest clinic. From there, she was transferred by ambulance to San Pedro Hospital. Dr. Galvin, the surgeon who received her case, was stunned. It was a medical miracle that she was still alive. A grueling 16-hour surgery followed. Doctors performed a laparotomy, repaired her uterus, checked for internal damage, and carefully stitched her abdominal wall in multiple layers. Against all odds, Ramirez survived. A week later, she showed remarkable recovery. There were no signs of internal bleeding or infection. Her uterus returned to normal, and her wounds healed without complications. Her son, Orlando, thrived, healthy and strong, as if the harrowing circumstances of his birth had left no mark on him. Ramirez's story astonished the medical world. Her case was documented in the International Journal of Gynecology Obstetrics in 2004 as one of the only known instances of a self-performed cesarean section resulting in survival. When asked why she did it, her answer was simple: a mother's love knows no limits. Ramirez had once lost a child because she couldn't get medical help in time. She refused to let history repeat itself. She chose to fight, to endure the unthinkable, because she was a mother, and mothers will do anything to protect their children. Ramirez's story is a testament to the sheer power of human resilience and the unbreakable strength of a mother's love. While most of us will never face such extreme circumstances, her journey serves as a lesson in determination, courage, and the lengths a parent will go to for their child. Her story is not just one of survival, it is a reminder that love, in its purest form, is the most powerful force of all.